Hey everyone, welcome to the 10th session on AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Crash Course. In this course, we are going to discuss about various different AWS analytics offerings. So to start with, we are going to discuss about Amazon Kinesis. Amazon Kinesis is the real-time data streaming service which is helpful to take the data in a real-time manner and process it in a real-time manner. To understand this in a better way, we can take an example for a manufacturing plant. In a manufacturing plant, we will be having a lot of machineries. We will be installing sensors on all the machineries. We will be collecting the data from all these sensors and we are streaming it in a real-time manner so that we will take the decisions in real time. This is one ideal example. It is used everywhere. If you can see in F1, we are making use of AWS related services to take the real-time decisions. All the car parts are getting censored and all these details are getting measured. So based on that, they are taking some real-time decisions. There are a lot of use cases. Typically, the IoT related use cases falls under the real-time data streaming category. So in Amazon Kinesis, we are provided with 4 different varieties of options. First thing is Kinesis data streams. Kinesis data streams is all about real-time data streaming, which provides the capability to capture gigabytes of data per second, and it is very latent. It's designed in such a way to provide a near real-time streaming and real-time streaming of data. Kinesis Data Firehose is the second option in this category. Kinesis Data Firehose is all about near real-time streaming. It is not about real-time streaming. So ideally in scenarios like major places, we will collect the data using Kinesis data streams and we will consolidate the data, say for an 5 second or an 10 second interval. We will consolidate the data using Kinesis Data Firehose, and then we will be pushing that data to the other systems like EC2 or S3 to process the data. So Kinesis data streams is all about real-time data. Kinesis Data Firehose is all about near real-time data. There is the another form of facility which is provided to us is the Kinesis Data Analytics. Kinesis Data Analytics is all about real-time SQL. So on the real-time data, if you want to do SQL style analytics, we can make use of Kinesis Data Analytics. Say a similar example, take the IoT sensor example, where while getting the data, we will apply the SQL on top of the data to understand and analyze that data. Final option is Kinesis video streams. Kinesis video streams is all about real-time video streaming. Ideal examples are something like social media streaming like YouTube Live or Facebook Live, something like that. So these are all 4 important varieties which is provided to us by AWS. So to understand it in a better way how it works, you can see say an input from the various different data sources like mobile or various IoT devices. It will be sent to Kinesis data streams. From there we will be doing the analysis using Spark on EMR or Lambda or EC2. So like that, it's like we can do the direct analytics using Kinesis data analytics as well. This use case is similar use case. It is like we can push the data to Kinesis data Firehose, where we can place the data onto S3, Redshift and Elasticsearch. From there we can take it. So the endpoints are different. That is the key thing to understand here. So for Kinesis data streams, we can process the data either using EC2, Lambda or Kinesis data analytics. But in the case of Firehose, we can very well store the data in S3, onto Redshift, onto Elasticsearch. So if you want to store the data onto S3, we need to chain it together. We need to chain the Kinesis data streams with Kinesis data Firehose, and then we can store the data onto S3 buckets. Next option, it is big data. It's in the big data world. People is aware of Amazon EMR. EMR is all about Elastic MapReduce. It uses the MapReduce behind the scenes. For the data processing, it uses the MapReduce to do. So it's a very broad spectrum of services. Big data services comes with a lot of Apache services, say starting from Hadoop, Hive, Pig, Spark for data processing, and MapReduce for data processing, Apache HBase, Cassandra. So a lot of things, Flume, Scoop for data ingestion. So it is a broad spectrum of services which comes under that big data framework. So what AWS does, AWS introduced a service called EMR. EMR is Elastic MapReduce, which provides all the big data related services like Spark, Hive, HBase, Flink, everything under a common ecosystem. So if I want to spin up an Hadoop cluster, so we can very well make use of an EMR and we can specify specify what are all the various services which we are going to use on this framework, it will instate all the different services behind the EC2 machines. So EMR works behind the EC2 stuff. So everything will be deployed onto EC2 or EKS or on Outposts as well. Outposts is the newer version, but predominantly even EKS is also a very newer version. Previously EMR everything will be deployed on EC2. EKS got introduced in reInvent 2020. So a lot of options. If you are dealing with big data related services, then EMR is one good option which provides the complete set of framework. All the other options like EMR notebooks are there, and AWS proprietary file system for EMR is EMRFS. Instead of HDFS, we can make use of EMRFS, which gives the connectivity to S3 buckets basically. So we can store the big data related framework, we can store the data which is processed by EMR on S3 buckets using EMRFS. Next member in the family is AWS Glue. AWS Glue is getting very good traction nowadays because of the serverless ETL. So if I take the data processing, if I take the data framework, data analytics way, it is like it starts with data collection, and then we will be persisting the data onto a persistent data store like a data lake on S3, and from S3 we will be using the data processing framework. Say in the case EMR, we can make use of MapReduce or Spark on top of EMR to do the data processing. Now that layer of abstraction, AWS abstracted the data processing layer, which we call it as an ETL, which is the extract, transform and load, and it's predominantly the Spark. So AWS came up with a service called AWS Glue back in 2018, which provides the serverless ETL. So we can do all the Spark and PySpark coding on top of Glue. No need to worry about any of the infrastructure. Since EMR runs on top of EC2 or EKS, here there is no need to worry about any of the infrastructure. All the infrastructure will be taken care by AWS. So we can directly save the file on S3. What we can do, we can make use of Glue to crawl the data on S3 and do the metadata and cataloging, and we can apply the Spark dynamic frames and data frames to do the transformations on top of the data which is stored on the S3 buckets. So this is very good thing to know. So Glue comes up with a lot of options. Glue data catalog. Glue data catalog is all about the metadata management. So for example, I'm having some of the files which are stored on my S3 bucket. I can make use of Glue crawlers. Glue crawlers crawl the data on S3 and understand the data and generate the metadata for us. So that metadata can be stored in something called as a Glue catalog. So this is a metadata repository which is similar to Hive Metastore. We can store the metadata related information on Glue data catalog. Glue Studio is the new introduction. So it provides visual style, graphical style workflows. So we can design our ETL job workflows using the drag and drop options provided to us. Data Brew, again a new introduction. It is like we will be designing the ETL workflows, clean and enrich the data without writing any code. It is a completely visualized style. Lot of built-in transformations are available. 200 plus built-in transformations are available over there. Just we need to select the transformation, we need to select the source, we need to select the transformation, and we can select the output. So simply in the graphical way, without writing any code, we can do the transformations. Glue Elastic Views is again one more introduction in this category. It is a SQL style to replicate the data across various different data sources. Say like I'm having the data on RDS, I'm having the data on my Redshift. So we can make use of Elastic Views to combine the data across various different platforms. The next stop is Amazon Athena. Athena is one good, again it is going to be a serverless service to use. It's in SQL style. So if you are very good at SQL, then we can very well make use of Athena. Athena, in simple terms, it is used to query the data which is stored on S3. In typical big data world, if you see lot of files, data, everything is stored on S3 bucket. We can make use of Glue crawlers to understand the data, to create the metadata and store it on Glue catalog. Then we can apply the SQL on top of the data stored on the S3 buckets using the data catalog along with Athena. So Athena is all about SQL. We can write the SQL here in this diagram. It explains it in a clear way. So IoT data coming through Kinesis Firehose, and we are persisting the data onto S3 bucket. Then we can very well make use of Athena to build the SQL queries on top of the the data stored on S3, then it can be integrated with Amazon QuickSight to see the business intelligence graphs and a lot of other dashboards. So it provides lot of integration with Glue data catalog. It is a paper query model, and it provides the federated query options. It's like you can combine the data across various different data sources using Athena. Redshift is a very good thing to know. It is a cloud based data warehouse. If you are from a data warehousing background, then Redshift is the must thing to know. What Redshift is differing from the other services, it is similar to the relational data store, but it provides the lot of analytics capability. It provides the massively parallel processing architectures, so the data processed via Redshift is very faster. So the newer advancement in this area, it is all about the Aqua is advanced query accelerator, which provides more than 10% faster response times. And there are a lot of things. It's like a federated query option is available, and you can combine the data together using Redshift as well. So in general, AWS Redshift is the data warehouse as the offering from AWS. This picture represents it in a very easier way. So we can have the Redshift at the center. We can take the data from S3 and put it into Redshift, and we can do federated query with the data stored on Aurora or RDS, and then we can very well integrate QuickSight to do the business intelligence and analytics on top of the data stored on Redshift. Even we can do machine learning and all the other options using the data which is stored on Redshift. Redshift provides the complete integration with various different analytic services within the AWS. Next thing is AWS Lake Formation. AWS Lake Formation is an collaborated framework which is offered by AWS. It is slightly newer service. So whatever we discussed so far, say Glue, say Athena, say KMS and all these things, it provides an holistic framework. So it is very easy for us to set up the data lake within days. So the setting the data lake in an analytics overview, it takes lot of time, since we need to define the governance principle, we need to define the metadata layer, we need to define the security, we need to define the access controls, everything. So it provides a framework. The lake formation is a single service where we will get all these things together. So if you are looking for something which provides the data lake foundation principles, then lake formation is one good way to do that. Coming to QuickSight is a very visualization tool. QuickSight is all about data visualization, where we will get very real-time dashboards, very catchy stuff, so we can analyze the data using the visualization and all. QuickSight is one typical stuff which is developed by AWS. It's a proprietary service which is developed behind the Spice engine. Spice is super fast parallel in-memory calculation engine which is created dedicatedly for QuickSight. So it is very simple. You can see, you can collect the data, we can put the data into various different data sources, say like Redshift, say like Amazon RDS. The QuickSight provides connectivity to major of the data sources like RDS or Redshift or DynamoDB, even for Athena as well. So it's an BI, it's a typical business intelligence service which provides interactive dashboards and embedded analytics on top of the data which is stored on various different data sources. Coming to the other options, Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch, it's a simple, it is a typical Elasticsearch. They have taken the Elasticsearch and they had integrated it with the AWS ecosystem. So it is Amazon Elasticsearch service. It's a fully managed service. It's a fully managed Elasticsearch which is running on top of the AWS system. It provides lot of options. We can deploy the Elasticsearch on top of the EC2 instances using the ultra warm or cold storage options, and it provides the trace analytics as well. It is a newer option which is available to provide the faster resolution times on the distributed systems. And there comes one old member in the family is the AWS data pipeline. Data pipeline is all about taking the data and storing it into the AWS ecosystem. So we are drawing the pipeline for the data. This is a really interactive service which provides the data pipelining between various different AWS services. So you can move the data between different services, different storage services, and between the different compute services as well. So typical workflow happens like that. We define the business data using data node, and then we define the activity. Activity is similar to like I need to take the data and persist that into EMR or Hive or SQL scripts, and then we will define the preconditions, some conditions which needs to be checked while taking the data, and very well it will provide the scheduling facilities as well, the frequency on which we are going to run the data pipelining activity. So it's all about data pipeline. Everything is taken care using the AWS data pipeline. final member in the family is Amazon MSK. It's slightly newer service. MSK is all about Kafka. Kafka, you can remember Kafka similar to Amazon Kinesis, real-time data streaming solutions. So if you are already using the Kafka for your environment, we can very well migrate that to AWS using Amazon MSK, which is the managed streaming for Kafka. So MSK will take care of everything, managing the Kafka clusters. It runs behind the EC2. So you can very well migrate your Kafka related workloads to AWS using AWS MSK. So we came to end of this lecture. I hope this lecture is informative for you. I am looking forward to see you in the next lecture.